Morning, everyone. Good morning, George.
Do you like dogs too? Well, I have my own dog and her name is
Welcome back to Autism Twins and Us. It is Sunday and it's really cold, wet and rainy outside. And we've had a bit of a week. Let's update you. Last Tuesday, George was injured at school and we had a call from the nurse at the school to take him up to A&E. To cut a long story short, he'd been hit right in the middle of the nose with a toy that was thrown by another child, and they said because obviously they can't see a fracture, they wanted us to take him to A&E. We tried to get him seen at the accident centre, which is not A&E, but it's like for accidents and stuff, but they don't do x-rays on the head or face, so we had to take him to A&E. So Amy made a call to them. They said bring him up straight away, we'll see him quite quickly, because the child A&E was quite quiet. I took him up there and we were there about an hour, which really is good at this point in time because most A&Es are absolutely hammered at the moment due to various things, COVID, winter, all that sort of thing. So we were seen within an hour, and basically they said unless his nose was like that in a week's time, to just leave it. If we're not happy a week later, which now there's no swelling now, it was really swollen. And here's a little pic of him on the bed I'll put up in the corner. What happened? What happened? Show me it.
Bodge, baby bees. Bodge, baby bees.
Bodge, okay. So he was sat on that bed. He got seen by the doctor, and they said basically they would only, if we were worried in a week's time, contact the GP and they would make an appointment for him to go back and get it reset if necessary. They wouldn't x-ray it in the first week because of swelling. So that was the first thing. Then on Wednesday, George's school had staffing issues in his class due to COVID. So he didn't go to school on Wednesday. And then they rang up on Wednesday and said they'd split the class into two, so that there's 4 kids able to go in on the Thursday and 4 on the Friday. So we opted for the Thursday because that way it wasn't like giving him a day off then sending him back and confusing him. So George was off on Friday as well. Yeah, so it's been a bit of a weird week. Amy had a few seizures this week, which wasn't the best week for her. We've had a lot going on. We managed to get through it though, as we do. And yeah, so it was a bit of a crazy week. On top of that, we had a squirrel going in the loft. So I got hold of a mate of mine who's a roofer, and we could hear scratching in the roof just intermittently now and then, not all the time. And there's a lot of squirrels behind the house, so a little bit of the fascia on the house had come off in the bad weather, a little tiny bit off the corner, and that's where it was going in. I caught him on video. When I heard him up there, I went up into the loft, put my phone outside to capture him coming out of the hole. I'll add that little clip in now. You see him poke his head out and then jump up onto the roof. So that afternoon on Saturday, my friend came round. Oh no, sorry, Friday, my friend came round and made the hole good again, put the fascia back on, a new bit of fascia and stuff. So now the squirrel can't get in there. So that's that job sorted out. Something else. Oh yeah, we started a new medication for George, which is the same medicine. It's a methylphenidate or Medicanet, but it is now in a tablet form. Hello, Matt. It is now in a tablet form and not capsule, and it's a twice a day rather than once a day. The once a day, the slow release wasn't working very well at all. So the tablet. I'm going to ask you how your week was in a sec. The tablet form is very difficult to get them to take it. Huh? I don't know, mate. Yeah. No, he's asking somebody. All right, we'll find it. So yeah,
What's he
a mad week.
What's
This
he
one
trying
is
to
couple. I'm just making myself a coffee. A couple of other mentions or things to add. George's medication is not for his autism, it's for his ADHD, which we found, especially in the last month, he's really, really needed. We weren't giving it to him consistently prior because it was a long lasting, it didn't seem to be working. It didn't seem to dull down any of his real extreme behaviour. The new medication seems to be working well when we can get it in him. So it's a tablet, a very small tablet, a little bit chalky in consistency once it starts melting, dissolving, in his mouth. So the problem we've got is getting him to have it. If he would take the tablet, put the tablet in his mouth, drink a little bit of water, it would go down it's so small, it would go down so easily. The problem is he won't take it voluntarily, so we have to hold him to give him it, and there's been like absolutely no help in how we get him to take a tablet. There's not a liquid form of it. We could, I suppose, crush it down and try to put it into a drink, but he's aware of that when we've done that previously. But when he's had it, his behaviour, like now, today, he woke up this morning, his behaviour was so erratic and so 100 mile per hour. I can't say it any other way than that. So extreme, his mood up and down, that without it, his behaviour's been really, really difficult. That isn't me complaining, that isn't me moaning about him at all, but his behaviour itself, and he's not happy himself when he's at that 100 mile per hour. He's struggling to concentrate on anything and to do anything, in a meaningful way. It's just 100 mile per hour, toast, breakfast. It's just constant requests for things. He's had that medication this morning at about 7:30 after his breakfast, and he's been at a darn sight calmer, easier to manage, happier in himself, playing nicely all day, no banging, no smashing the walls and throwing things. And he's just having a better morning. Hence the reason why we're trying to get him in a consistent way of having the medication. So if anyone's got any tips or hints on how to get a child, if you've got a child on any sort of medication, not necessarily for ADHD, but any medication, how do you get them to take a tablet? Because we're finding it difficult. And the problem is I'm physically able to not restrain him, but hold him to give him it, and he's spitting it out, and the basic thing what any kid would probably do, try to spit it out, and I'm able to manage to physically hold him whilst he's doing that, and he's kicking, headbutting, scratching, biting, whatever he's doing to try to not have it. Amy's not able to do that physically, so it's a problem. We need to try to come up with some sort of solution, but the services or the Child Development Centre have been no help in regarding how to administer it, so we're a bit of a lost end. It works well, he's better on it, he seems better on it, he seems to have a much more stable day with his mood, but it's getting in him twice a day, because it's now, the other one was a slow release, it was once in the morning, that was it. This one is twice a day, so like lunchtime he's got to have another one. So you've got to go through that process twice a day, which I don't know how we're going to do it, but anyway. Apart from that, we've had a very weird start to the year. Very up and down, lots of things going wrong, stupid things like a squirrel in the bloody loft. The radiators that was leaking is getting fixed on Tuesday. And yeah, it's just been one thing after another, basically. Every day there's been something happening, or, yeah. So that's what's happened this week. At the moment in the kitchen, he's got the Bing house. He's got the piggy bank one that Bev got him, so thank you, Bev. He's still playing with it there. He's got the Peppa Pig playing with Disney Toy Story characters in it. He's got the Pizza Planet out, and at the moment he's really enjoying the jumping track. You see it? There we are. Show us the jumping track, George. Ready? Here he comes. So watch it, so then jump. Ready?
Where did it go?
There he goes. So he's got this jumping track out at the minute. Goes around. And then he's got the superstation out, and he's got that Cars set with the Lightning McQueen and the thingy. So that there goes around. Pull that one back. And if no, this one. Put it quick. So if he pulls that back, it'll jump through the hole. And if he leaves it, it'll go around. That's it. Sorry, I had to stop. Lift the train track, take it back up into the train room upstairs. So yeah, he's got loads of toys out. Don't get me wrong, his behaviour's still difficult, but this medication thing, something we've got to try to find some sort of solution to somehow. It's really crap weather outside. It's raining, it's like really windy. So there's going to be no walk today. Amy's been up pretty much every day for the last near enough 2 weeks without having a line. So she came down this morning and had a coffee when George was having his medication done. Which took when I say she had a coffee, she had a sip of a coffee, poured it down the sink like she normally does. But anyway, she went back to bed. It's now, I think it was about 10:30. So hopefully she'll stay up there for as long as possible and get like a proper sleep, like, you know, a bit of a catch up on some of the sleep. She's had like no sleep all week, pretty much. And even when she has had sleep, it's been intermittent and then battling with them all day. So it's been a hard couple of weeks, the last few weeks. But positives are, we've got the new medication, we have to try to work with that. Matthew's been doing well at school. All his homework, all his learning's been pretty good. Behaviour's been pretty good. A few challenging moments and days, more about the way he's speaking to us than anything. But in general, his behaviour's been pretty good. Anything else? Is there anything else that's really, you know, that you really need to know? I don't know. But if you're new to the channel, our channel basically is to show you what it's like living with autism in a family situation, a normal family situation. My name's Adam, if you didn't know that. Amy's my wife. Amy is a stay-at-home mum to the twins. She was previously a civil servant. I work in security and I do shift work, so I do days, nights, like alternating, basically 2 days, 2 nights, 2 off, 2 days, 2 nights. I do that, and then every like 6 or 7 weeks I get 2 weeks off. So I do a lot of hours in a short space of time, which leaves a lot of pressure on Amy to do, you know, 75% of the care for the boys. And when I'm here, obviously I try to do as much as I can, to lighten the load off Amy a bit. But it's difficult to try to find a balance, you know, try to give Amy a break, take the boys out, go to work. It's difficult. And I don't know, you know, how much these videos would help anyone else, but we've got over 200 videos now. So if you're looking for how do you get a child diagnosed, there's videos on that. Just search for our back catalogue. How do you know if your child's got autism? Why did you think your child had autism? How do you deal with their autism? You know, techniques on how to parent autistic children. Look, we're not doctors, we're not professionals, we're just parents, the same as you, if you're a parent, trying to give the boys the best opportunities and give them the best childhood and leading them into adulthood to be as independent as possible. It isn't easy. I'm not going to lie. There's lots and lots of challenges every single day. There isn't an easy, like, you know, today so far, touch wood, has been a calmish day, you know, a few outbursts, but behaviour's been pretty good. George had his medication, that's really helped. Matthew's quite happy to have a chill out day, especially on the weekend, and he's been at school all week. He's quite happy to just chill out and watch his tablet and play his games and stuff like that. They doesn't get much time to do during the week. Because during the week, they're at school all day. They come home, have tea, you know, bath, whatever, a couple of hours, and then they're in bed. So he doesn't have an awful lot of time, free time like that, apart from the weekend. So he's quite happy to have a chill out day. George, thus far today, has been pretty good. He even sat with me for half an hour, which he wouldn't have done without his medication. He would not sit on me for half an hour without medication. Earlier on, he had his medication, come and got his blanket, come and sat up with me on the sofa watching a bit of Frozen. You know, a bit more calmer. That's all we want the medication for. We don't want to change the child. We don't want to change him, his personality, but we just need a little bit of edge off it because it's really hard to keep up house with him. It's like you're living with Usain Bolt, but not just running, climbing, jumping, throwing, bringing toys up and down, trashing the house, you know, trying to toilet him, trying to get him to eat things, and especially trying to get him to eat, you know, okay foods is difficult. But yeah, if that's the kind of thing you're looking for, a family that you can relate to, a normal working family, you know, I work, Amy has always worked prior to having the twins. It's not like she's never worked, she's always worked until we had twins. And for Amy, it's quite she said before that she feels embarrassing, she's a stay-at-home mum. Well, her job's harder than mine, put it that way. And I'll put my hat off to anyone that stays at home with their children, because we also didn't want to have children to just have children and just throw them into someone else's care all the time. You know, people do it, yeah, they might have a career and they have a child and then put it into nursery care for long periods of time. We didn't want to do that. Well, our plan was always to have one of us stay home. As it worked out, Amy was in a job where they were going to make redundancies, so it made sense for her to take a redundancy at that time, about 8 years ago, or whenever it was. And that's what we've been doing since. So we're doing our best. So sometimes you'll see us feeling down, sometimes you're going to see us feeling up and happy and proud. And don't get me wrong, those proud moments are always there. But sometimes the hardness of the situation makes it difficult. So if you're a parent to an autistic child, or autistic children, or children with SEN needs, or if you're an autistic person yourself, or if you're on the spectrum yourself and you can relate to what you're seeing in our videos, please just comment, leave a like, leave a thumb down if you're not happy with something we've filmed. Let us know, because we're just trying to make videos to show our journey and the boys' journey. That is it. There's no plan to be a full-time YouTuber and make money off of YouTube. That's never going to happen. That is not in the remit of what we want to do. We just want to share videos of what we're doing and what is positive and what is negative, and things that we find would help other people, basically. So yeah, anyway, that's enough rambling, because it's going to be a very boring video else, and let's see how the rest of the day goes.
Get up! I want to stand up!
You have to get up then. George was a horse. Matthew's going to be the horse? Horsey, horsey, don't you stop.
You're taking me very fast.
Good sleep?
Yeah, I'm sorry I slept so long. I woke up in a panic.
That's not what I wanted you to say. I wanted you to say, yes, I had a lovely sleep. You did get I did say you got for a sip of coffee.
Yeah.
One sip and then poured it.
Sometimes I get up and I have my coffee and I drink it all, and then other times I fancy a coffee, have a sip and then pull the rest away.
So I spoke a bit about the medication and how it's been working well, but it's difficult to administer, which we've just done his second one of the day.
I've just joined 2 Facebook ADHD groups in the hope that somebody can give me some tips.
Magic tip on how to do it.
Because it needs to be done for his sake and for our sake. But if I could find an easier way to do it, I'm going to have my
It's worked.
bitten off every time.
It's worked pretty well, doesn't it, when he's had it,
Yeah,
behaviour-wise?
Well, this is the 3rd one that we've tried.
Yeah.
And there are only 3.
I'm going to get 2 more. Just 2.
And this is the best one, I think, so far, because he doesn't lose his personality and he doesn't.
But even the playing like that with Matthew doesn't happen when he's on the other one. It was too much.
Yeah, it just completely zombied him out. So this is the best one. It just needs to be done for his sake, for our sake. You know. So hopefully that one of the groups can give me an idea on how to give it to him.
You've had quite a hard couple of weeks since Christmas. Well, hard month really since Christmas, haven't we? So I said about that. Behaviour, being dark early, we can't get them out so much.
I think it's just become like really, really
I think it's become apparent that we've got no help in the last month for some reason. We have George's one-to-one, who's a massive help.
yeah.
But, I mean, she's obviously she works full-time. She's only able to do like he's only entitled to 3 hours a week anyway in school time.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit of respite, but not a massive amount. Although Amy did speak to George's school this week, who suggested, because he's nearly 8, getting a social worker for him so that we could then apply for respite care where he would sleep over at respite, but Amy isn't keen.
No, not at all.
I think in the long run, we will go down that route because it'd be better for him. But it's going to take Amy a long time to be in the situation where she's able to trust someone and people
There's
to have
only
him.
one person that I would trust to have George overnight and take him into school the next day, and that's his one-to-one.
Yeah.
I can't see myself trusting anybody else to do it because, no.
The people that do it, though, are obviously fully trained and fully vetted and things like that. And
I know, but that makes no difference to me.
yeah, as a mum.
Unless I can clone his one-to-one, then no.
So yeah, she set the bar very high in the way she looks after him. That's, I mean, amazing that he's got that close bond with her. But
in regards to everybody else,
and it's not having a dig at everyone else, but the last couple of months has come really apparent that how it's just you and me really.
yeah.
And obviously, and with his school shut him through COVID, and last week missing 2 days, it just, when things like that happen, it makes life 10 times harder because his routine goes out the window.
I think it's just very isolating.
So because
and whereas before, I would just sort of like, you know, let people come round and offer to help, but be no help at all or whatever. Now I feel like I've pulled away from everyone, including family, because it's just more stress and I don't need it.
And we've spent quite a lot of time with Amy's dad recently, which has been a good help. He's been a good help because he, you know, the boys love him, and they, you know, he now he's moved back from France. He's been a big help. Like, he came around yesterday. We had a nice meal, watched a film with him, and it was nice to spend. But he came round at bedtime, so he came round, saw the boys for an hour, put them to bed, done their story, because obviously when Grandad's here, they want him to do it, and then a bit of time with us without them climbing all over us. So that was nice. But we've got to the point where it just shows how isolating it can be. As a couple, as a family, like everything really. Lots of things that we can and can't do. But
and it's like the little things as well, you know. We just can't,
hang on.
We can't do things that.
Wait a minute, Ma.
It's difficult if he wants to do things with his friends and everything. Everything's difficult, so.
It's been a hard month since Christmas, isn't it? It has been difficult.
Yeah, I mean, no one likes to feel isolated, but then at the same time, I feel like, what choice have we got? Because it gets to the point where you spend time around people and they're constantly just staring and, you know.
Or suggesting things that are not possible, especially for George, and then it's like, no, he can't do that, or we can't do that with him. So yeah, it's been difficult. But this Thursday, Amy's going away with her friend for a couple of nights. So it'll just be me and the boys, so a couple of nights break, just being able to go to bed and not wake up to George pulling her eyelids open.
Thank
you.
George pulling her eyelids open and saying, get up, basically. So Amy's going away Thursday just for a couple of nights. She's going to be back on Saturday at some point. So hopefully she has a good week with her FND so that she's not stuck in when she gets up there. Because your FND's not been great either. So hopefully, with me being off this week, the week's a bit more.
Okay.
Fix it.
Yeah, Mummy, change the batteries.
Batteries.
Yeah, Mummy, do the
I want to
batteries.
show them something.
You've just done one, haven't you?
2.
You want to show the track you made?
Mhm.
Is it a good track? Is it going round? I can hear it going round now. Should we go up and have a look? Right, let's go and have a look.
Oh. Got them faster.
So what one's this?
This
Spencer.
Spencer, this one's James.
That one's James. Oh, let him go past first. So yeah, they got this track going.
Yeah, I made it.
Matthew made this one.
George made some.
Well, there's 2 tracks there.
Yeah. Oh, this one's for James. This one.
The separate track for James.
Yeah. And this one's Spencer.
Alright.
I mean, two tracks for James.
You just having a chill out day today then? Playing with your toys and stuff?
Yeah.
Good. How are you getting on in art club? Because you've been doing art club.
Arts and crafts.
Arts and crafts. What do you do in arts and crafts?
We do some art things.
Art things.
And last week, we had to draw a tiger. Tiger has 5 total tigers with the logo, like my school.
Oh, right. Okay. So you made your own tiger logo.
Yeah.
Cool.
Wonder what we'll be doing next week.
What, Tuesday?
Yeah, Tuesday.
Tuesdays. Yeah.
I can see
Okay.
I can see the train.
He's looking in George's at the train going round in the mirror. So, chill out day today. We're going to watch some movies, chill out
Movies?
and stuff.
Movies?
I like films and stuff.
Door.
More.
Look. More.
More.
You sign. More. Look. More.
More.
Please.
Please.
Look.
Please.
Please.
Good.
Da-
Oh, Daddy! Do Daddy! Show this one.
Daddy.
Look.
Look. Daddy.
Hey, see him. You! Do it again. You see him pushing my hand down. You just pumped on me, didn't you?
Mummy.
You pumped on me.
What is pump?
You just pumped on me.
What is pump?
Hey, didn't you?
No. What is a pump?
Pump. What do you think it is? One benefit of George Porgy having his medication is he's actually got the calmness to sit down and watch a film. So I put Aladdin on and he's asked for it on again. So now we're blanketed up, coffee, and George is watching a cartoon at the same time on his phone. And he can't bring out on the phone, but you know what I mean, on my old phone. And we're going to watch Aladdin. Hopefully we get the whole way through it, but you'll probably ask for it to restart again at some point. But I don't ever get this opportunity to do this with him when he's at 100 miles per hour. We probably won't last the film, but he's quite happy to sit up with me and hold my hand and stuff, which is nice. Some like closeness time with him without the hecticness. On the other hand, he's watching Cat in the Hat on his phone. Oh, Dr. Seuss, Cat in the Hat. And we're watching Aladdin. And Winnie's joined us. She's an ugly thing, isn't she?
On the plus side,
Anyway,
I think people will be talking about tonight's party for the rest of their
let's have a
lives.
nice chilled out hour.
Hello. So the boys have just gone up to bed. The medication worked quite well today, and obviously he had his melatonin before bed. My dad actually gave me some melatonin gummies because Matthew hates having the medicine, and he doesn't know that they've got melatonin in them, but he's been having them the last couple of days, so that's good. So what we've decided to do is continue with the medication on like weekends and weekdays until we can figure out a good way to give it to him to make it easier for the school. So he's got school tomorrow, and let's hope that they can fit him in the rest of the week, but we'll see. So we're just about to carry on watching Yellowstone. We're starting the second season, aren't we?
Second season. We
Second
watched
season,
the first
yeah.
one.
It's actually really good. I'm glad we started that. So yeah, that was our day. Not very exciting, but there we go. And hopefully this week will be a good one. We'll see.